Campaign Africa commemorates the 60th anniversary since the formation of the Organization of African Unity.
Edition of Mama I Made It. Today I'm joined in studio by Zakhe Khuzwayo of InnoVent. Now InnoVent was started initially with a desk and just a phone in 2003 by two chartered accountants, Zakhe Khuzwayo and DJ Kumbula. And now the business has annual revenues upwards of 150 million rand, and they've steadily seen a 25% annual growth over the last 5 years or so. Now their formula has allowed them to expand to the United Kingdom, Zambia, Zimbabwe and Tanzania. And the co-founder and the COO, Zakhe Khuzwayo, joins me now in studio to tell us about that journey and, more importantly, some of the things that they've learned that they can share with us.
Yeah, so I mean, myself and my business partner, DJ Kumbula, had always the idea that we wanted to be entrepreneurs. So even though we trained as accountants, we just knew at the back of our minds, even at varsity and at school, we were always doing business and selling things and that type of thing. So we always knew we were going to run our own businesses at some point. When we then met at a company that we worked for in 2002, we then decided to go on our own. Okay. Fortunately, we were lucky that Sasfin Bank decided to back us, and they gave us the initial funding to start the business.
How much was that?
They gave us about 7 million. Yeah, so the simplest way I explain this is that we're the Avis of IT equipment.
Okay.
So if you need a laptop, a tablet, for one day, for a month, for 3 years, you know, you come to us and you tell us, this is what I need and this is what I want to do with it. And instead of you going out to buy that equipment, we simply rent it to you. And the cost of renting that device is actually cheaper than actually buying it outright. Because what we've done is we've created a secondary market for used equipment. We're able to refurbish the equipment that comes back to us and then put it back in the market. And that way we're able to subsidize the cost for our clients, and the product just sells itself. So it was difficult in the beginning. For the first, I'd say, 9 months, we didn't have a single client. So it helped to have the 7 million to keep us going until we actually acquired our first couple of clients. So it was tough, but once that started gaining momentum, it kind of snowballed, and we got referrals, and you know, people started taking us seriously. About 5 years, we paid off that loan, and we've been debt-free ever since. When we started out, we were always leasing out desktops and laptops, which is your computer and your laptop, normal laptop that you walk around with. And then server infrastructure, you know, servers, routers, storage, you know, where all your information sits. And then as time went by, we found that we were getting a lot more mobile devices coming on board. So people switched from actually having a desktop to actually having a laptop or a tablet, and then the phones, of course, where now your smartphone, you really get your email, you get everything on there. You really use a desktop, you're either on your mobile or on your tablet. And that has shifted definitely towards the mobile space. So we built our own refurbishment center where the devices come in and our own technicians actually open the device up, take out all the old components and then put in new components. And it's as good as new when they're done with it. If you actually lease a refurbished device, it's like, simple example, if you buy a new BMW versus a used BMW, you're going to save quite a lot of money. So it's the same thing. You're buying a refurbished device, you're getting the warranty, you're getting the service plan, you're getting all the bells and whistles that come with a new device, but it's a much more cost-effective device because it's at 50% of the cost of a new one. But you're still getting all the performance and all the support that you'd get on a new device. Why wouldn't you do it? Before it gets to disposal, that asset will probably go through 2 or 3 life cycles.
Because you refurbish it, right?
Because I'm refurbishing it, you see. So I'm stretching out its lifespan from normally a 3-year asset into a 9-year asset. And by the time I'm done after 9 years, then it's really time to kind of strip it down to its components and then, you know, use e-waste providers to be able to then dispose of the different components in an environmentally friendly manner.
Okay, all right.
Listen, we do have competitors. There are people coming into the market, especially the manufacturers. They would normally have a leasing arm, so when they sell the hardware, that they would couple it with the financing option or a leasing option. But on the refurbished side, I can say that we don't really have competitors in terms of renting out refurbished equipment. And our refurbishing capability is probably second to none in this country in terms of how we do our refurbishment. And I mean, a lot of our refurbished devices, actually, we sell them on Take-A-Lot.
Okay.
And you can see the reviews on there with the public saying, I wasn't sure whether this was a new device or a refurbished device, because when it came, they thought there was a mistake, but it actually is a refurbished device. That's how 16 years of obviously gaining experience in how to refurbish this device has got us to where we are. We know what we're good at, when you know that there's a lot of scope to grow the IT market as it is. And the manufacturers are good at what they do, and that's not really a space that we would want to get into, but we want to give access to those devices by innovating financial products that allow people to access those devices on a pay-for-use model, on a device as a service, on a subscription basis, or whatever easier mechanism where you can just walk into a shop, pick up a device, use it, and when you're done with it, drop it back, and that's the end of the story.
Hi, I'm Zakhe Khuzwayo. I'm the CFO of InnoVent.
Hi, I'm DJ. I'm the CEO of InnoVent. In 2003, Zakhe and myself set up our own company, InnoVent, and the primary business is the operating lease of movable assets for corporate South Africa.
The CA qualification has really opened a lot of doors for me. Especially since we started the business in the early days, I found it much easier to get clients to take my calls, to give us meetings when they knew that on the other side was a chartered accountant who spoke the same language as them.
So when we actually go into deep negotiations, it's given us insight into how they think. It's given me insight into the kind of solutions that they would ideally be looking for. And from a credibility point of view, when you have so many people going to businesses trying to sell them something, they are always looking for credibility and knowing that what they are going to get ultimately is what they were sold.
I think a lot of people, once they're qualified, want to go and join a big organization, and that's not necessarily the right thing for everyone. Sometimes joining a smaller company gives you that added advantage of having an impact, not just being a number or getting lost in a big pond, and that really gives you a certain direction or a path that you can actually take and be passionate about and fulfill your dreams.
I think now that one has finished their articles and they've qualified, it's an opportunity to experiment and find out a little bit more about how business actually operates. When you have a CA qualification behind you with all the business training and all the financial training you've received, you could really develop to be a powerful entrepreneur because you've got the basic principles in place. You still have to learn a couple of things, but I think the foundations are there. So I'd really want to see a lot more young CAs coming into the mainstream of entrepreneurship and driving the job creation that we so desperately need, and driving the small business that we desperately need in this country.
Africa, channeling wealth to good use.
It was